You are not making sales in your business because you're not showing up. Like, you haven't been showing up. You need to show up more if you want to make consistent sales. And I want to share with you some of my favorite ways to show up more in your business, because it's so important. We have to stop, as Christian entrepreneurs, we have to stop blaming spiritual warfare and all the things as to why we're not seeing sales when you're probably not creating consistent content. Like, most people that I work with are not seeing sales because they are not creating consistent content. And if they are creating consistent content and they're not seeing sales, it's because they're not talking to their ideal clients. But for most people, the real issue is how they are showing up. You got to show up more. You got to make more video-based content. You got to get yourself on the platforms where your ideal client is going to find you. And that actually starts with understanding where they are to begin with. That starts with sitting at the feet of Jesus and really getting his strategy on where it is that you are supposed to be creating content. Does that make sense? Because that's important, right? We don't just want to create content and put it anywhere. We want to make sure that we're creating content that stands out for the specific space that we're going to be on and who's going to be watching it. Before I dive deep into like how we're creating content, when we're creating content, why we're creating content, all the things that you need to know in order for you to grow and scale your business, I want to introduce myself if you do not know who I am. Hey, my name is Sienna Kopishki, and I am a Christian sales coach. I teach Christian entrepreneurs how to grow and scale their business to a consistent $20,000 months on repeat using my formulated system, PMVMS, which just stands for prayer, mindset, visibility, marketing, and sales. And I teach this particular formula inside of my program called Consecration Academy. Now you may be saying, okay, what's Consecration Academy? Consecration Academy is a hybrid one-on-one and group coaching program where Christian entrepreneurs can come and grow and scale their business with me as their business coach. Okay, let's dive into today's video. But before we do, I have a quick little announcement. Please like and subscribe to this channel. And if you are not even hitting $10,000 months yet in your business, did you know that I have a free guide that you can just go ahead and download that will teach you how to hit $10,000 months step by step by step in your business? Okay, if you didn't know, go check out the commercial and then download the guide, which is in the description below. We'll be right back. If you have been hustling, praying, and just really working hard at your business, but you are still stuck at super low income months or pretty much no income at all, I see you. It's probably because nobody ever showed you how to build a business that is going to actually glorify Jesus. And that is why I created my checklist to 10K. It is a freebie checklist with instructional steps on how to actually surrender your business to the feet of Jesus and every action step that you need to take strategically in between to growing and scaling your business to $10,000 months. Now, you may be wondering, what's the price of this? It's free. It is something that I created for you to use so you can grow and you can scale your business all for the free. So honey, what are you waiting for? You're not lazy. You just need strategy and someone to walk you step by step by step on growing and scaling your business. Go grab your guide for free in the description below. Let's get back to today's video. Now that you are back, by the way, welcome. I'm so excited that you are here. You are joining me live from my living room couch today, and we are chatting all about, not really live because you're watching me play this back, but we are chatting all about all the things that comes with showing up more. Okay, you gotta show up more if you want consistent sales. I am a sales coach. Like, it is legitimately my job to make my clients more sales. I also have a degree in advertising and social media. And so I know a thing or two when it comes to showing up more and making sales from showing up. You do not need a large amount of followers. In fact, I don't even have a lot of subscribers on this channel. What you do need is the right watchers, the right followers, the right subscribers, wherever it is that you're posting content. So if you are posting content on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, wherever, you just got to make sure that you're speaking to your ideal client. And that is all that matters. You could have 5 people following you and still make $1 million. Trust me, I've seen it. But before we go down that rabbit hole of like followers don't matter, let's talk about what we're here for. What we're here to talk about today, and that is showing up more. So number one, I want you to remember this. You need to be creating video-based content. Now, I kind of said this a little bit ago before the commercial and all the things, but you need to be making video-based content. If you are not making video-based content, you are behind so many of your competitors, okay? Your business is not ranking. It's probably not showing up, and you're probably watching this video because you're not having good sales months. And honey, don't worry about that because we are fixing that problem right here, right now, today. Okay. And how we're doing this is we are going to make a strategy on how you are going to show up more for your audience through what? Video-based content. People need to know, like, and trust you. You got to get to know their personality so you can buy from them. You got to be able to trust them so that you can buy from them. You got to be able to fully know the person or the individual that you're buying from, right? Like, you're not going to just hire me as a business coach just because you're having low sales month. You're going to hire me as your business coach, A, because you're having low sales months, and B, because you trust that I'm the person that's going to help you make the high sales months. And how did we get to this place where you can trust me? Because you've watched a couple of my content. Maybe you're even an avid listener of my podcast, the Christian Business Podcast, inserting the cover right here so you can go find it on anywhere that you listen to podcasts, okay? Wherever it is, you are getting to see my personality. You are seeing who I am at my core, because who I am on camera is who I am in real life. Let's be honest here. And so with that being said, what makes you think that your audience is any different than you? Your audience needs to see you. Your audience needs to understand your personality. Your audience needs to feel who you are from that camera screen. And if they cannot do that, they're not going to buy from you. So if you think just posting carousels is going to make you a bunch of money, or posting static images that don't even have your face in it is going to make you a lot of money, that is not 1,000% true for a personal-based brand. We got to know, like, and trust who you are. And I'm repeating myself right now because it's so true. We got to get to know who you are. And that starts with making content that is A, going to speak to your ideal client, but B, also showcases your personality. Okay. So moving forward, you got to create that content that is video based. Now you may be saying, how often should I post? And that is number 2 when it comes to showing up more. If you are not making sales in your business, I'm going to tell you something that I don't share very often unless you're like a paid member of my community, but you have to show up almost every day. Okay. We got to overcome those barriers, and you do not need to show up from a place of hustle. I'm going to just tell you that right now. We're not showing up from hustle. We are showing up from a place of alignment with our King because we are Christians. We are not showing up in hustle because hustle means we don't trust God. Hustle means we're doing it on our own will. And the Bible tells us to do nothing in selfish ambition. We are not doing anything for our own glory, our own will. You are doing everything for His glory and His will. And so what does that mean in alignment to you and for your business? That means that when you show up, you are showing up peacefully. Okay. We're not stressing out going, oh my God, I don't have enough clients. I need to show up on social media. I need to create this video content. I need to create that video content. I need to do this. I need to do. We are not going to overexert ourselves. We're just going to show up and make the content, make it fun, make it enjoyable. We're not hustling. We're not chasing, but we do understand that practically speaking, in order for us to make the sales, people have to know us. In order for them to know us, like us, trust us, we got to create that video content, right? We talked about that in point number 1, but point number 2 is really that we have to create content that, on a consistent basis, that we are putting out consistently. And so this is going to mean if you are a business owner, I highly recommend you are posting a minimum of 1 video-based content a day, Monday through Friday. You don't need to post necessarily on Saturdays or Sundays, but I do recommend it. But you don't have to do that. You do not have to do that, but 5 days a week. Now you may be saying, I thought you said don't hustle. Like, I don't really want to post content 5 days a week. Can I post content 3 days a week? You can, if you are nurturing your audience in another capacity. So for example, if you post 3 days a week to your feed on Instagram, but then the other days of the week, you're still posting in your stories, people are getting to really know you in your stories, go right ahead. But if you're just going to post to your feed 3 days a week, get off of social media, and you're not going to connect with anyone, then you're going to have a disconnect in your sales. You're really not going to make the money that you want. And if some months you're consistently posting and then other months you're not consistently posting, that's why you're not seeing sales. You have to do something for a minimum of 90 days before you start to see the real money come in. You want to make $1 million really quick? You show up every single day, Monday through Friday minimum, and you create that content, you post and you connect with your audience. You don't just post and get off. You post and you connect. That's why every single person who has ever commented on any of my YouTube videos, which I don't have very many of, but that's okay with me, I connect back. Like, you're not just going to comment something and not get a response. You are going to get a response typically within 30 minutes of you posting that, because I'm typically always near my phone, right? You are going to get a response. And the same thing for you. Like, we got to be connecting with our audience. But the way that we do that is by creating content on a continuous, consistent basis. We're not just putting out content and walking away. And that kind of brings me to point number 3, is you have to have some level of engagement, okay? So I post a lot of content now. I'm starting to really get back into this, is posting a lot of content on TikTok. Obviously, I have a podcast. I have an episode that goes out every single Tuesday at 5 a.m. So you can listen to it at any point that you want on a Tuesday. But I do have this YouTube channel that I typically post 7 days a week on. I haven't posted recently for the past 2 weeks because I've been sick with strep throat. So much fun. And I actually still have strep throat, but I am just like pushing through today because I feel better and I have the energy to do it, but like my throat definitely is hurting me while I'm talking about this. The point is that you got to create consistent content. When it comes to TikTok, my goal is to post 2 TikTok videos a day. YouTube, 1 YouTube video a day. Now, you don't have to create long form videos every single day for YouTube. You can use YouTube Shorts, which you can repurpose from other platforms, but you want to make sure that you're at least posting 1 today, whatever that looks like, Monday through Friday. Instagram, same thing. When I first hit 6 figures, I used Instagram to hit 6 figures. And when I tell you, it transformed the way that I do business, because I was posting every single day. And then moving on from there, right? Like, I'm in a program right now to help me hit 7 figures in my business. And it is about continuously posting. My sales came in because of the fact that I was posting content on a regular basis. And a lot of times if I see someone who's not making content, they're not making sales. Like, if you're not consistent, you're not making sales. If you're not connecting with your audience, you're typically not making sales, which is point number 3. You not only need to create video-based content, not only need to be consistent by posting every single day for 90 days, by the way, minimum, because 90 days is like the time frame before you start to really see those sales. But you also need to make sure that you're connecting with your audience, which is point number 3, because if we are not connecting with our audience, then we are not building a community. And if you're not building a community, it becomes extremely hard for your audience to buy from you. Okay, so we got to make sure that we are building community. We got to make sure that we are talking to the people who are subscribed to our channels, who are following us, who are connecting with us. We got to make sure that we're answering their questions, right? I'm so big on that. Like, if you have a question about anything that I share, ask me a question and I'm more than happy to answer. But let's get into a place, guys, where we are making continuous content. You will not see true success until you ditch the opinions of everybody else and just do what needs to be done. You want to see money come in? Make the content. I'm not even gonna lie. Make the content. The time is now, Christian business owners. And anyway, I love you. I'm gonna see you in the next YouTube video. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, where I'm gonna continue to bring you tips, tricks, and all things how to grow and scale your Christian business so you can reach success. All right, friends, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.